here we are. I can't believe it. It is time to talk about June TBR. Welcome to this House of Walls. My name is Ashley, and on this channel, I love to talk all things homeschooling and books. Today is books. It has been really homeschool content heavy lately, so I hope that you will stick around and see what a homeschooling mom plans to read for the month of June. As always, grab a nice little cup of coffee. I have my favorite cat mug. And let's talk books. Usually, I use this little TBR jar to help me find some books. But I have a bunch of books that were still on my book cart that were either spring reads, series that I'm continuing, or TBR from last month that I still really want to read. And so I actually got a stack of books from those. I didn't have to pull any others off of my shelf. Oh, hang on, there's a series that I need to get. Okay, I updated the stack a little bit. So there's just a lot of books that I want to read that were still on my cart. And so I figured, you know what? It's my TBR. I can make the rules. I'm just gonna compile a list of books for my cart. This will also be really good because more towards the middle of June, I'm going to post my summer TBR books. And these are just books that are slightly themed around summer that I want to pick up and read. So let's get started. This is a stack. I will not read all of these this month, let's just be honest. But we'll see how many I can get to. So the first stack is books that I need to read for different book clubs and everything like that. I have some in-person ones, I have some online ones. So let's talk those. The first one that I have is Agatha Christie, an autobiography. This is for what I am hosting kind of here, but mostly on Instagram. And we are reading Agatha Christie's top 10 of her favorite books that she wrote. But that was only 10 books, so we had some extra months. So I decided to put in there Agatha Christie's autobiography, which I think will be really cool to read. There's some pictures here in the middle. It's chunky. 532 pages, and it's like a tall book. Pretty crammed on print. So I hope I can find an audio of this somewhere, because that will probably be needed. But this one is my first book. The next is for Ard Booked Book Club, and that is going to be The Women They Could Not Silence, the shocking story of a woman who dared to fight back. So this, I'm not quite sure if this is fictional or based on a true story, because there are, there's pictures in here, so I'm not quite sure. But this one sounds so fascinating. So it takes place in 1860, and a woman who is a little too headstrong for her husband is put into an insane asylum by her husband so that he can control her and get her to be submissive and listen to him again. And so it's her experience of going in there and realizing all the other women that are in there for the same reasons. This one looks amazing, and I'm really excited to get into it. Then I have some in-person book clubs. So at the end of June, I need to have this one read, and that is The Poisonwood Bible by Barbara Kingsolver. So this one, I think, takes place, 1950s in Belgian Congo. An evangelical Baptist takes his family on a mission there, and I think things start to happen. I'm really excited to read this. I read Demon Copperhead last year by Barbara Kingsolver and really enjoyed it. And so did a lot of people in my book club, so we're excited to pick this one up. And then at the beginning of June, so pretty soon, I need to read this one, but I think it'll be a pretty quick read. But that is Housemaid by Frida McFadden. It is a mystery psychological thriller. So it sounds like there is a maid that is working for a family that has some issues going on, but she has some secrets in her past, and so I'm excited to pick this one up. And then that is a perfect segue into my next stack of books that I am reading that are part of a series. So The Housemaid is book one. I do also have The Housemaid's Secret. So if I like The Housemaid, I would like to continue. I am making it a point to try to read series closer together so that I don't forget what they are about. So I have this one to go on to next. My next is Twilight Falls by Juno Black. This is the third in the Shady Hollow mystery series. I have enjoyed the series so far. This one is actually from my spring TBR because it does take place in spring. So I would kind of like to read it before it officially becomes summertime. I enjoy the little characters in this town and everything about it, so I'm excited to get back in and see what happens in this book. And then I have book 3 in the Murderbot Diaries, and that is Rogue Protocol. So I have read book 1 and 2 and really enjoyed them. I listened to book 2 as an audio, and I think that just kind of brought it out a little bit more. They are really short, sweet books. I think I read book 2 in like a day. So I am excited to get back into this one and see what continues to happen with Murderbot. My next, it has been on many TBRs. It has been talked about a lot. I just still haven't gotten to it. But again, the third in this series doesn't come out until this fall, this winter? I can't remember. But that is Emily Wilde's Map of the Otherlands. I really want to get back to this. I really enjoyed the first one. This one does have a spring-summer feel to it, so that one would be really good to finally get to. The next is one, so I always keep all of my open series over on my book cart, just so that I know I am still continuing to read those series, and I would kind of like to make them a priority. This one just somehow got put onto my shelf, and I don't know. I guess maybe because it's not like a fantasy that I just forgot it was part of a series. I don't know. I have book 3 in the Finley Donovan series, so Finley Donovan Jumps the Gun. I've enjoyed the first 2. I think they were kind of 4-star reads. I'm still interested enough to see about this one, but I think this one will be kind of the deciding factor of whether I go on or not. But this, you are following Finley, who's a single mother with young children, and she just finds herself in all of these situations that happen and murders around her, everything like that. So it is funny. I would compare it slightly to the series. It's actually blurbed by her, but the Jana Ivanovich series, I've read I don't know, somewhere between 15 and 20 of those books, and I love them. Does this series fully have all the amazing things from that series? No. So we will see, but I am excited to kind of get back into it and see. All right, my last one in a series. I am actually reading book 1 right now. There is also a novella between book 1 and book 2. So as long as I continue to like book 1, then I'm going to get the novella and add that on to here as well. Book 2 I already have on my shelves, and that is The Ashes and the Star-Cursed King by Carissa Broadbent. This is book 2 in the Nightborn duet. So this one, it does deal with a kind of vampire world and a human that is there. There's a competition going on in book 1. I am only about 100 pages into it. It has taken me some time to get into it. I think it has been quite a few years since I have read anything where it's like a vampire world. And so it's just taken me some time to get back into it. I am enjoying it though. I kept picking it up last night and wanting to read it. So I have this one to continue on if I like the first one. I think, so there are going to be different ones coming that are, I think, in the same world, but following different characters. So I'm excited for that and to have this one on my TBR. Then I have a stack of books that are, somehow they're all book of the month, but I have the audio reserved on Libby, and they are all going to be coming in really soon. So they're going to go on my TBR because they were already on my book cart, all except for one, because I really wanted to read them. So I have talked about this before. It's been on a lot of my TBRs, but this is Hello Beautiful. And it is a family, yeah, I think it's like a family drama. So this one is coming in, I think, in like 2 weeks, and I can't wait to pick it up. The next was definitely on my June TBR. That is The Women by Kristen Hanna. I am ready to get my heart broken again by one of her books, and I've just been waiting for the audio to come in, and it will be really soon. This one, you are following a nurse during Vietnam. I have heard it's a fantastic book. The next one's set to come in. I have actually pushed it off for a long time. It's only part of a duology. I don't really know how I feel about the first one. I think I rated it 4 stars. Would I still rate it 4 stars? I don't know. But the second book that I have is Hellbent by Leigh Bardugo. I don't know. The first one, it just didn't thrill me as much as I was hoping. So I have had this one on my Libby and I keep putting it off and saying, no, give it to me later. And it's going to be coming in during the month of June. And so I am going to give it a shot. And finally, like, do I want to continue and fully finish this duology, or am I done with it? But this one is Dark Academia, I think at Yale, and there's secret societies, everything like that. We'll see. I am going to have to read a big summary of what happened in the first one before picking this one up to kind of remember all of it, because it was a while ago. Yeah, this one came out in January 23, so it's been at least 1.5 years, maybe closer to 2 years since I read the first one. And then we are finally at the last book to talk about. This does not go with the season at all, but I have been really wanting to read it, and so requested the audio on Libby. I don't know if it will be in time. I think mine says like 5 weeks. So we might be pushing it. It might not really get read until July, which will be really, really out of season. But that is The Frozen River. I have had this since this past winter and just haven't gotten to it yet. So this, you are following an 18th century midwife who defied the legal system and wrote herself into American history. I've heard, again, amazing things about this book, and I'm excited to get to it. I am not going to pick all of these up because it is a stack. I'm going to put them up here. Here they are. So they're stacked right here and then over here. I just counted. I think there's like 14 of them. They will not all be read. Let's be serious. I think I average about 8 books a month. I am really happy with doing this because I was sitting here for a while being like, but there's still books on my spring TBR and May TBR that I really want to read. I just haven't gotten to them yet. And so I'm going to make them a priority and read them. So definitely keep a lookout for towards the middle of the month. I'm going to have my summer TBR. And of course, homeschooling content is going to continue. I am starting to pull all of our new curriculum into the room. And I will also have this next week 7th grade review video and what my 7th grader read this year. So keep a lookout for that. As always, if you like this or anything else that I post here on this channel, make sure to like and subscribe down below, and I will be back for more soon.